Hello and welcome to Helen Christie's YouTube channel. Today we're going to be exploring stories from Versailles, and I'm your host, Madame Florentine. So pour yourself a drink, get cozy, and let me tell you what happened behind the mirrors. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to Helen's channel and let us know which era of history you'd like to hear about next. Now, back to the stories. Versailles, a palace known for its mirrors, chandeliers, and golden halls, a jewel of France. But beneath its glittering surface was a darker world. Poisons, conspiracies, ghosts, and scandals that still whisper through its corridors. Tonight, we peel back the silk curtains to reveal 5 tales from Versailles' shadowy past. Some true, some legendary, all scandalous. Life at Versailles was dazzling, but deadly competitive. Nobles lived at the king's palace not just for luxury, but for survival. To be noticed by Louis XIV meant titles, fortunes, power, but to be ignored meant ruin. And in a court where rivals could snatch away the king's attention with a smile or a dance, some turned to more darker methods to secure their position at court. That's how whispers of poison began.
He favours her instead of me. I want her gone. Try this. 1 drop in her wine, she'll never dance again.
And what if I get caught?
Well, get your servant to sneak it into her drink. If you're caught, blame her. Say she was obsessed with the king or something.
These schemes eventually unravelled, and investigators found fortune tellers selling powders, priests holding black masses, even whispers that Madame de Montespan, the king's mistress, had used dark rituals to keep Louis's love. For 5 years, France was consumed by paranoia. No glass of wine or loaf of bread could be trusted.
Confess! You brought this poison into the palace, didn't you?
What is going on here?
The servant has been caught with poison the night after Madame Dupin was found dead in her chambers.
A murderer, no less. You may take her away. Come with me.
No, please! I'm innocent! I swear it wasn't me!
In the end, over 300 people were arrested. Many of them executed, some burned at the stake, and others locked away in the Bastille. Louis XIV, horrified by the scandal, forbade his court from even speaking of it again. But the damage was done. Versailles glittered with chandeliers, yes, but behind every smile, people wondered, were their rivals' hands reaching for a fan or a vial of poison? By the mid-1700s, Versailles glittered under Louis XV. To the public, he was the beloved king, but behind mirrors, his appetites were infamous. At first, he relied on an official mistress, glamorous figures like Madame du Pompadour. But as he grew older, Pompadour found him other solutions. One being a hidden house just outside the palace walls called Parc aux Cerfs, the Deer Park. It was a house filled with girls, some as young as 13, brought from the provinces, hidden away and trained to please the king. For their families, it was a chanced favour. For the girls, it was imprisonment in silk. Louis lavished them with gifts, then discarded them when he was tired of them. Officially, the palace pretended not to know, but everyone whispered.
I do not approve of the king's activities at Parc aux Cerfs.
Be careful, Madame Therese. We have been advised not to speak of it. At least they're given a healthy retirement, I suppose. I hear when the king is done with them, he gives them title and money and sends them on their way. Personally, I don't think it's worth it. If only the poor girls' families thought the same. Indeed. The Parc aux Cerfs became a stain on Louis's reign. At the time when France starved, rumours spread that the king wasted fortunes by indulging himself while exploiting these poor girls. His reputation, once golden, collapsed into revulsion. By the time of his death, he was no longer the beloved, he was the reviled. Many say these abhorrent crimes fueled the growing disgust that eventually led to the revolution. Some say Versailles is a place where the past still lingers, a stage where ghosts refuse to leave. In 1901, 2 respected English schoolteachers, Charlotte Anne Moberly and Eleanor Jourdain, visited the Palace of Versailles. They wandered into the Petit Trianon, a chateau on the grounds which was once home to Marie Antoinette. But what they claimed to experience that afternoon was no ordinary stroll, and they claimed to have fallen through time itself.
Do you feel that? A chill in the air?
Yes, I do.
Look at those men over there, by the bridge.
Yes.
Well, they look like something from a century ago. Costumed actors, perhaps? Do actors stare like that? There, look! A woman sketching by the grass. Wow, her gown. Her face. Charlotte, that's Marie Antoinette. I don't think we should be here. Let's get out of here.
The women rushed back to the palace, shaken. Later they compared notes. Both had sworn they'd seen figures in 18th century dress, buildings and garden features that no longer existed in 1901. Convinced they had slipped into another time, they published their account in 1911 as a book called An Adventure. It caused a sensation. The book sold well, but their reputation never recovered. Scholars mocked them, newspapers called them liars or lunatics. Some even whispered about romantic hysteria between the two of them. Instead of respected academics, they became forever known as the women who saw Marie Antoinette's ghost. And yet they never wavered. Until their deaths, they both insisted the encounter was real. We'll never know if it was imagination, illusion, or something stranger. Versailles, a single mistake could destroy you. Nobles fought every day for the king's eye, for scraps of favour that meant money, power, or survival. And nothing was more dangerous than gossip. One whisper could end your career. There are stories, written and whispered in pamphlets, of nobles humiliated forever by the smallest slip. In the 1740s, allegedly, one duchess learned this the hard way. Not through treason or poison, but through something far more human. Good heavens! Was that?
Oh yes, and at the king's ball, no less.
It was the floorboards, I swear it!
Well, we shall punish the carpenter then.
In a palace where pamphlets and songs spread faster than wildfire, the fart became legend. Within days, courtiers were humming tunes mocking her. By the week's end, lampoons were circulating in Paris, crude verses about the Duchess's trumpet. Even ambassadors wrote home about it. Versailles could forgive many sins, but never embarrassment.
Careful, the Duchess enters. Hold your noses, everyone. Perhaps she will blow us all to the opera.
Enough! I am no jest.
At Versailles, madame, we are all a jest. Some of us simply smell sweeter.
The Duchess never recovered her place. Invitations to dinners grew fewer, the king's eye slid past her, and her rivals moved into the vacuum she left behind. Her legacy was not her titles nor her wealth, but her humiliation. At Versailles, you could be ruined by treachery, by poison, by scandal, or possibly by fart. That's it for today's stories. If you've enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and drop a comment below with which era of history you'd like us to cover next. Bye-bye.